Today, let's get started with Ilia Topuria talks about Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena. Even though Islam Makhachev has vacated the lightweight title and is moving up to 170 to fight Jack Della Maddalena, he and Ilia Topuria have continued to trade shots at one another online. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. During the recent interview with Alvaro Colmenero, Topuria weighed in on the Makhachev-JDM fight, saying that the pound-for-pound kingpin is already mentally broken, heading into his welterweight debut. He is mentally broken. You have left the division out of fear because there is no other explanation. I don't know how this is going to affect him mentally at welterweight. I really don't know. Let him do with his life what he wants. As Topuria also said during the interviews, he could wind up chasing Makhachev up to 170. Of course, why not? It depends. If the fans want to see me fight at welterweight and there's a champion the company has at the moment, why not? I fight to entertain people. Obviously, I also have to be motivated by the challenge, so I'm not closing the door. If the opportunity arises and there's an exciting fight, I'll be there. What I hope is that the other party is also willing, not willing to make excuses, but to back up what they're saying. In defense of Makhachev, Ali Abdelaziz took to social media to fire back at critics. I wasn't really gonna say much, but I see people just don't want to move on. Islam Makhachev is always going to be the lightweight champion. These two guys who are fighting, they are fighting for the Burger King belt. I wish people would be nice to each other, but hey, it is what it is. Ahead of Topuria's lightweight title fight, Khamzat Chimaev, who trained with Topuria at All Stars in Sweden years back, praised Eldmatador's work ethic while speaking with Adam Zubarayev. We both fought in Brave. It was clear that he's a hard worker who wants to achieve something, and he achieved everything that you can in this sport. While no date for the JDM Makhachev fight has been set, the welterweight champion spoke about the fight during an interview with Sky Sport, New Zealand. During an appearance on Submission Radio, JDM's coach Ben Vickers also spoke about the fight this week after doing some film study. I watched a bit of footage of Makhachev, in particular the Poirier fight. I've never watched Makhachev before as a potential opponent. I've just enjoyed him fighting because he's brilliant to watch, but I think Jack will knock him out. Poirier only hit him once in the first round. I just feel like he's not used to taking damage. He's not used to being in tough fights with someone pushing the pace, and he's been knocked out before. I feel very confident going into that fight, with the MMA community buzzing about the fight. Hopefully, the UFC announces a date sooner rather than later. Khamzat Chimaev breaks silence on Caio Borralho call-out. Before the UFC announced the UFC 319 headliner between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis, there were rumors that the champ was hurt and would not be able to defend his title. Because of that, Caio Borralho quickly threw his name in the hat, offering to fight Khamzat Chimaev for an interim title. During his interview with Adam Zubarayev, Khamzat Chimaev broke his silence on the call-out from his former training partner, saying that Borralho's a good guy and he's simply trying to build up some hype for himself. He wants some hype and some money. A fight with me is a guaranteed $1 million. If he'll fight someone else, he'll make $200K. So it's better for him to get beaten up in one fight than to have 5 different fights. As Chimaev also revealed, Arman Tsarukyan will be joining his camp for his UFC 319 fight with Dricus du Plessis after the two coached against one another on Hype Reality. While Chimaev has been booked to fight DDP, and plenty of other top-ranked middleweights have fights currently booked, Borralho still doesn't have a date or opponent for his next scrap. Chimaev also took aim at Caio Borralho, Nasruddin Imavov, and DDP this week on social media, writing, "There is only one champion, and they all know it." Daniel Cormier calls out John Jones for not fighting Tom Aspinall, while the MMA community begs Dana White and the UFC for a date for the Jones-Aspinall fight, or for Jones to be stripped. The heavyweight champ is enjoying life right now out in Thailand while coaching against Nate Diaz on the Russian version of The Ultimate Fighter. In response to Jones saying that he would have beaten him at heavyweight if they had fought there, Daniel Cormier took aim at Jones during a video for his YouTube channel, saying that the champion should stop talking about potential fights and fight Tom Aspinall. How about fight the dude that's actually waiting to fight you? Tom Aspinall. It's not about what may have happened back then. We want to know, as the consumer, what's gonna happen today. Am I afraid as man? Absolutely not. But I'm not here to fight no more. I'm a broadcaster. But there's a guy that's waiting. There's a guy that's up to his neck in frustrations because he's been waiting for so long. We want to know, when's the fight with the guy that actually wants to fight you? Doesn't need to be a hypothetical. You guys can actually answer the question as to who's better between you and Tom. While Aspinall had said that he had a meeting scheduled with the UFC in regards to the fight, it sounds like no movement has been made. Dana White reacts to Jon Jones footage in Thailand and talks about his UFC return. During the street interview with Adam Glynn, Dana White said he is 100% confident that Jon Jones will fight in 2025. He was asked about the infamous video in Thailand on the motorcycle that was released last weekend. This is what Dana had to say. Hey, Jon Jones, how's he doing? I saw the videos trending on the internet of him like in Thailand. I look weird, but like, is he doing alright? He's good. He's good. What was weird in Thailand? I don't know. I saw this video. It might be weird. He jumped on the bike and there's a lot of the comments kind of orchestrate the public's opinion a little bit, like orchard, yeah, partying and stuff like that. But that's what you do in Thailand, I guess. Well, I guess so. Yeah. What he's fighting, he will be fighting. He's got 2025. Yes. So hopefully we'll get some sort of announcement on Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall soon. Dana White releases fighter from the UFC. The UFC roster cuts just keep on coming. This week, Bruno Silva was released from the UFC after his UFC 315 loss to Marc-Andre Barriault. The loss made it 5 in a row for Silva, who also notably missed weight for this bout as well. Back in 2021, when Silva signed with the promotion, he quickly rattled off 3 straight wins via stoppage in the span of 6 months. Since then, however, he's gone just 1-7, with his lone win coming over Brad Tavares in 2023. Silva wasn't the only fighter removed from the UFC's active roster this week. In addition to Silva, Dominic Cruz and Jimmy Flick were both removed from the UFC's active roster. Cruz recently retired after a shoulder injury forced him out of his farewell fight, while in the case of Jimmy Flick, the veteran flyweight had lost back-to-back fights, with his most recent loss being a unanimous decision to Matt Schnell in April, bringing his UFC record to 2-4. Merab released training clip for Sean O'Malley fight. Yesterday, Merab posted a training clip where his partner was mimicking Sean O'Malley's fighting style. Check this out. I almost complete boiling in that it all the but I got a big beat on it whereas where we can have panic the normal board so our time here typically the top if want to create it lean the 30 the it keep the faces if it is the by keeping up the beef one okay girls can't come out of that I'm just remember get it and it's just killing after him around. Be concept for the great, like an all natural pop. You want the blah. Just pretty 3 out there, because if it painfully allow us like growing the that. Our stuff. Who do you think will win this fight between Sean O'Malley and Merab? Let us know down in the comments below. UFC updates. Heading into this weekend's Burns Morales fight, let's take a look at today's UFC fight updates. Let's start with a new addition to the UFC Baku card in Azerbaijan next month. According to reports, Muhammad Naimov will collide with Bogdan Grad in a featherweight bout that will see Naimov look to build on a win over Khan Offley back in February, while Grad looks to build on a win over Lucas Alexander in his UFC debut, also back in February. We've also got an update on the light heavyweight division, where champion Magomed Ankalaev has been looking for a fight after the champion posted that Alex Pereira and Yuri Prohaska turned him down for the UFC 317 card. Jailton Almeida took to social media, revealing he'd be willing to make the cut to 205. Hey champ, I accept the challenge. I'm willing to go down again and fight against you for the title. Alex always fought with short notice. He is too big for do that again. He don't need it. Let's go. Do you accept? I promise I'm not gonna take you down. Only strike. While it sounds like the UFC is having a hard time finding Ankalaev an opponent, it seems unlikely that they will let Jailton Almeida drop down and cut the line at 205. And last but not least, Carlos Prates is looking to get back in the octagon after his loss to Ian Gary. In a post on social media this week, Prates channeled his inner Habib Nurmagomedov, writing, "Ready to get back on the cage. Send me location." Ali Abdelaziz goes off on MMA executive, while Renier de Reeder is preparing to fight Robert Whittaker in what'll be his toughest test inside the octagon. Ali Abdelaziz says that RDR nearly had his career ruined by one championship exec, Matt Hume, who famously trained Demetrius Johnson. During an interview with MMA Junkie, Abdelaziz took aim at Hume, who he called, quote, the biggest scumbag in the history of MMA. Honestly, Renier de Reeder has become one of my favorite people. He's just a nice, humble, nice man, and a good family guy. He was in a very bad situation with ONE FC, and a very ugly situation. Matt Hume, biggest scumbag in the history of MMA. I can tell you this 100%, and I'll keep it at that. I have all the proof. He's a very bad guy, and he almost ruined this guy's life. He's one of the biggest scumbags I've ever seen on the planet. I think ONE FC will be a much better place without this guy. He ruins so many people's careers. He blackballed people. He cheats. He does everything wrong. And you know, he almost ruined RDR's career. Really did. While it's clear that Abdelaziz is not a fan of Hume, RDR doesn't appear to have criticized Hume publicly in the past. And despite the dominance MMA heads claims, RDR's career seems to be in a great spot, heading into his fight with Robert Whittaker. Joe Rogan roasts UFC fighters for footage. While Joe Rogan's never competed inside the octagon, his martial arts skills have impressed some of the greatest of all time, like George St. Pierre. Although Rogan's now 57 years old and is coming up on his 58th birthday, the longtime UFC commentator is on a mission to record a 190 score on the grip strength testing machine. During a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience with Tom Segura, Rogan poked fun at some of the UFC's best fighters for scoring lower than him. After watching fighters like Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler, Stipe Miocic, and Bo Nickel all give the machine a go, Rogan joked that he's stronger than all of them. Are you doing your opposite hand? Cause Paul Craig I think is a lefty at 127. Bo Nickel, he's a lefty too. So they're doing their opposite, they're doing the opposite hand. What's his? 153. Weidman strongest. Let me see what he's got. 153. Stipe's huge. What's he got? He's a left-hander too, yeah? Fireman strength. He's a big dude though. 131. Wow, that's crazy. Other hand. 104. Oh, and Jesus Christ. Second attempt. 155. Alright, so higher. Well, I'm stronger than all those yeah, but I'm trying to get to 190. Fight fans will have plenty of opportunities to hear Rogan in the broadcasting booth during upcoming pay-per-views this summer, with UFC 316, 317, 318, and 319 all set to take place in the US. Dana White shuts down Conor McGregor UFC return. Earlier this week, just after Dana White confirmed Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria's next fights, Conor McGregor reacted to the announcement, hinting at a comeback to the UFC. He wrote on Instagram saying, "Dana White, call that big butt nurse. Let's get this show started." Also, Conor has been posting trainee clips all week to show he's ready to come back. And before we continue, we have a favor to ask. Help us reach 200,000 subscribers on Anime Zone by subscribing and turning on notifications for daily anime content. Seriously, we rarely miss a day. Well, now it looks like Dana White has reacted to Conor's Instagram message in the street interview with Adam Glynn, where he claims that he has not spoken to Conor in a while, and there's no talks of him actually returning. Conor, what's the latest with him? Do you think he's at fight anytime soon, or what? How many fights he's out fighting anytime soon? I haven't talked to him in a minute. Well, yeah, I don't know. Do you think we will ever see Conor compete in the UFC again? Let us know in a